Hello, and welcome to It's Fate. I'm Morgan Barker.
I'm Katie Christiansen.
And this is episode 28. We're covering chapters 25 through 36 of A Court of Silver Flames.
And we are wearing some dark green because Nesta and Cassie and Azrael go to the lovely Bogge.
Yeah.
I almost said Bogge.
I do that all the time.
Because of like the thing.
Yes,
the
even
monster.
just my internal dialogue. I'm like,
Yeah.
Bogge. No, it's a Bogge. Bogge. Wait. And, you know, everything was dead in that swamp. Bog, swamp. Are they the same thing?
I think so.
Or the swamp was in the bog?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like the water is black, but we figured, you know, we wear a lot of black. So let's do some green.
I only have so much black.
Same. And then we have some, I feel like I should have washed my little cap here. Oops. We have this thing called dram. How would you say that?
Yeah, I would say dram. It's a drink Morgan got us.
It is. It's a sparkling water, and it has a plant on it.
It says holy basil and lemon.
Yeah.
Was the basil blessed?
I guess, but then
By
on
the
the
cauldron?
back, oh yeah, it says, I don't know.
Herbal magic.
Yeah, herbal magic, something.
This is like ASMR. We're going to review this.
Here we go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh, let's smell it. It's kind of strong for a sparkling water.
It's giving very basil.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. It's interesting.
I think I need it colder.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's interesting and I like it, but I need it to be
Icy.
icy.
I can see that. It's
Yeah.
good. Dram. Well, not Bram. Dram.
Dram. Dram is not drab. No, it is good, and
No,
it's
it's
supposed to be
good.
really good for you. Sugar-free, plant-based, gluten-free.
That's good. I'm kind of picky with my sugar-free stuff. I don't love the aspartame taste, but this is good.
Well, this doesn't have any sort of like,
like sweet.
that's
it's
what I like about it. I'm trying to find more stuff that doesn't have like natural flavors or anything, but doesn't have a ton of sugar in it. So fun.
Okay. You have the Pequot.
Yes. So we haven't done like a reading check-in in a while. So we are in May now. What is your favorite book that you've read so far this year?
I saw you ask this, and I was like, I am so bad at remembering, but I'm so bad at updating like Goodreads. I'm so bad at updating my brain. I know I've talked to you about this book, Mame.
Yes.
That one was really good. I'm trying to think if I know I read another book that it's
The Songbird one by Suzanne Collins.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Ballads of
You read Crying at H Mart?
Crying at H Mart was good. The ending was, I don't know. I like I don't really read a lot of nonfiction.
Yeah.
But that one was good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think what else. I read Manacled.
Oh yeah, you did.
It wrecked me.
Was that your favorite for the year?
Not probably for the year, but it was good.
Like so far.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I would say Mame was my favorite.
Mame.
Thank you. What's yours?
I don't know. I asked this question so long ago. I have been, for those listening, I've basically been deceased for 2 weeks with illness.
Revive her back.
And I might have a coughing attack at any moment. Who knows? Maybe this holy basil will heal me. So my brain, even looking at this, I'm like, that's the question I said? Okay. What have I read this year?
You've read the fantasy series.
Yes.
From Blood, Ash, and...
From Blood and Ash, which I really liked. However, book 4 was not good. And I have yet to pick up the next book. And I don't know if I will. So I feel like because of that, I can't even pick anything from the series.
Yeah.
Even though I thought the first 2 books were really good.
That's disappointing.
Really disappointing. While I was sick, I listened to the first 3 Bridgerton books.
Oh, nice.
I really liked the second one, The Viscount Who Loved Me. But I wouldn't say it was my favorite of the year. What have I even read? Wow, this was a dud Pequot.
I know.
Pequot
We're really
dud.
bad at like... I just like don't remember my books.
I know. Tom Lake by Anne Patchett. Have you read anything by her? Mm-mm. It's like realism, kind of. I don't know. I've read 2 books by her. 2 of her more popular ones, Dutch House and Tom Lake. I read them both this year. Tom Lake was actually a 5-star read for me, which it's not for a lot of people, I think. I think it was like either like a 4 on Goodreads or a 3.89, something like that on Goodreads. But I Loved it. It's about a mom. It takes place during COVID, and it's not a real story, but it's like was as if it was 2020. And they own a farm, and all 3 of her daughters are home because everything shuts down. And the mom is recounting a summer to her daughters where she dated somebody who ends up becoming a famous actor. Ooh. And it was just really beautiful. And I don't always love realism when it's like, I feel like it can get really boring because sometimes real life is boring.
And you're like, I don't want to read about people's real life.
Right. Well, it's also like, okay, where's the climactic moment here? I'm waiting. But there was something about this that was just so beautiful and sweet. I feel like I was listening to somebody's memoir a little bit. And I loved the mother-daughter dynamics. So that is it. That was my favorite book so far of 2024.
I thought of another one.
Okay.
That I read called Happiness Falls.
Oh.
And it's about this boy who it's kind of like a mystery, but like not really. But it's about this boy who has some disabilities. He has like autism. He has like some other kind of disabilities, and he doesn't have a lot of like communication, verbal communication. And his dad goes missing, and he's the only one that was there. And of course they can't ask him what happened. And so the story point of view is his sister. And his sister always kind of had this viewpoint of him. I don't know, like she almost didn't view him as like a full human, and she would kind of get angry at him because she was a child. And so anyway, so it's kind of like they're as a family trying to figure out what happened to their dad. And so it's like a little bit of mystery, but also like really heartfelt. And of course, as a speech therapist, I like love the angle of like, and there's a speech therapist in the book.
Ooh,
so
I gotta add that to my.
I have it if you want to borrow it.
Yeah, my never-ending TBR.
I know it's always growing.
It is. It really is. That sounds good. Totally random. Have you watched the movie Peanut Butter Falcon?
No, but I heard it's so good.
Me too, and I just saw it's on Netflix now.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
I'll have to watch.
Me too.
Okay, let's get started.
Yes.
And also, I just want to preface this that like it's been a while since we read these chapters.
Yeah, we were supposed to record a while ago. Thank you, Katie, and thank you, Ty, for doing a bonus episode.
I hope you liked it.
I enjoyed it.
So if we seem a little bit of a mess, it's because we are.
Yeah, I'm also coming off of being on a lot of prescribed drugs, so my brain is a little fried.
Okay, so we start off in chapter 25. We see that it's been like 5 days since
Gwen showed up for the first time. Yeah.
And so she showed up to train with Nesta and Cassian. And I love when you first get like Gwen like walking out in the sunlight, and she seems like so happy to be in the sun. Like Nesta's commenting on how she's like closing her eyes, like feeling so good. And she said it's been a while since she had the full sun on her face. And I was like, wait, do you not go to like the secret balconies that you like she told Nesta about?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Continuity error, SJM.
I know. Well, then I'm also wondering too, like they're secret balconies, but is it really the sun? If they're like, or are they just glamored to not be shown?
I think they're just glamored to not be shown. But Gwen doesn't seem like in the best place, so who knows if she even like goes outside.
Yeah, maybe she just knows about them.
Yeah. And then Nesta asks why Gwen's signed up for the trainings, and Gwen says that she never wants to feel powerless again, and Nesta's like, me too. And I was like, that's so sad, but like so proud of them for taking like some action,
and they're connecting on that.
Yeah. I know people always love to hate on Nesta, but something I do love is she asks her friends questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that about her too.
Yeah. Okay, and then Nesta visits Emery and finds that her uncle's family has been trying to like claim Emery's store from her, and Emery invites her to stay for lunch.
Yes, and at this point, Nesta walks into Emery's store and sees her with Bellius, is that how you say it? Which is Emery's cousin. And she immediately notes all the signs that Emery is uncomfortable and that this male is not welcome. And like, this is just such a female thing. And it's sad, but it's also really cool. Like, it's sad that as females, we have had to adapt to this in life. But it's also cool that I know this kind of thing happens in real life where women look out for each other in order to survive and it made me think about how every time I leave after recording and it's dark, Katie watches to make sure I get in the car. And even her husband was like, what are you doing? Because he doesn't have to do that for his guy friends. But it is such a female thing to be like, nope, I need to make sure my girl is safe.
Yeah, even at the gym when I see like some guy like talking to a girl, I'm like, do you know him? Like, I'm watching, like, I'm not, no. Nothing's going to happen on my watch. When am I going to do it? I know the signs. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Emery then describes to Nesta how her family has basically just been very cruel to her. And Nesta starts recalling a memory of her grandmother beating her palms with a ruler because she missed some steps during a dance.
Oh my goodness.
That's so cruel.
Yeah. Like, so clearly this was like generational. I'm assuming this was her mother's mother.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm like, that is intense. Yeah. Intense.
That really is. And then Nesta is recalling more of her past, like you just talked about. And she also recounts that she was on the verge of selling herself on the streets before Farah killed the wolf and brought back food for them. And she says that she would do this. She said she would do this so her sister, not sisters, sister wouldn't starve. And this just really bothered me.
I wonder if she's more referencing like, oh, Farah could hunt for herself so she could like feed herself. But yeah, that's not good. No. I'm hoping.
Come on, Nesta. You're not building a good case for yourself here.
I know. I'm always fighting for her, but sometimes she just fucking sucks.
I agree.
So they eat lunch together. And they tell each other about their families and upbringings. And Nesta invites Emery to train, but she says no. Nesta, again, asking her friends questions, is asking Emery if she lives alone. And Emery says no husband or mate to bother her. But Nesta can tell there's more to that. She's like, And I am so ready for like an Emery Moore love story.
You know how I feel.
I know.
I think Emery deserves better, but maybe we'll get a better version of Moore soon.
Yeah, I know. Actually, like rereading, I'm like,
I didn't feel this way the first time.
No,
but doing the deep dive, I'm like, oh, there's some ickiness that needs to be worked through.
Yeah,
but
for a lot of the characters.
Yeah, exactly. We're working through it with Nesta right now.
Nesta challenged Emery's refusal by telling her, you don't seem like a coward, when Emery tells her that the townspeople like wouldn't like her training.
Yes.
And I think Nesta knows how like Emery can be pushed, give her some push, you know, and like why that's why their friendship works, because they're like able to call each other out.
Yeah, I could have sworn that Emery said this to Nesta the first time they met.
Yes, I think you're right.
Okay, interesting. I didn't go back and look. I should have.
I'm pretty sure.
And then just a little quick Emery name corner, because I felt like her name was very fitting. It means home strength, brave, and powerful, which I love. Like the home strength specifically, I thought was interesting.
It's like one word, or like one description. Interesting.
Unless I typed.
You're good.
But I was thinking, it's like, it makes me think of Cassian, where he's been so mistreated by the Illyrians, and so has Emery, yet she like is staying there, and she goes on some adventures, but like she's still dedicated to be like a pillar of strength and something for other females to see. Like she owns the shop and she's still doing the things. So,
and she seems like connected to the Illyrians, even though they haven't treated her the best.
Yeah. And we also get no last name, which just got me thinking about the last name conversation again. And it really seems like, well, Gwyn introduced herself by her last name, but other than her, Nesta and Elaine seem to be the only people who are like proud of where they came from and still use their last name. So it makes sense if like that's that mindset of like people aren't using it because they are not proud of their namesake. Like that makes sense for Emery.
That's really, I think that's a good observation, because I'm trying to think of like other people, like other characters that do use their last names, and it's very rare. Right.
And even Gwen uses hers, and we later learn about her backstory, and she's very proud of her mom and her sister. She has no shame regarding her family, whereas I feel like everyone else does in some way.
I like that insight. Kind of shows like their family relationships. Yeah. Then Cassian meets with Eris, and they realize that Brialyn, who knows, does not completely trust Baron and has not told him that she is after the Dread Trove.
I have to tell my brain to say Dread Trove
Same.
time. And I don't like it. I don't like the double R blend.
Dread Trove.
With the ch. It's just too much. Dread Trove. Nope.
Those are some hard sounds in there.
I know. Our SLP's coming out.
Okay. Cassian is a horrible spy.
Seriously.
He's so bad. He tells Eris not to tell anyone, like, don't tell anyone these plans, like 3 separate times. And it reminded me of like a little kid, like, shh, don't tell anyone.
Don't tell my secrets. Don't tell mom. Don't tell mom. Don't tell mom.
I was like, Cassian, he knows. And like, even if he did tell someone, he's probably not going to tell you that he did. It was just so, it's just like Cassian, like wearing his heart in his sleeve. Like,
and also being so insecure about this role that he's been thrust into that he's like, does not want. Okay, chapters 26 and 27, Cassian shares with Nesta about his conversation with Eris, and Nesta comforts him comforts him because Cassian like hates Eris.
oh, she comforts him.
Yeah, that's why I put comfort as a little, secret code until Azriel interrupts them. So from the moment Nesta enters the room, she can tell that Cassian feels defeated, and I feel like this is the first time we see her trying to talk to him or anyone about like feelings,
or at least like a member of their inner circle.
Yeah, but even like Gwyn and Emery, at least not yet. It's not like it's what are you going through? Why, like, which is fine because they did just meet.
Yeah.
But she's known these people for a year and a half now, and like she's never asked anybody like, hey, I can tell you're sad. Want to talk about it? So I just thought that was interesting. And then Cassian says he hates Eris and then goes on to talk about all the ways he cannot beat or match Eris. And it sounded like he hates the fact that he like can't figure out Eris more than he actually hates Eris. Like obviously he hates Eris for what he did to Moore, but it felt more of like this specific thing about him. Like he doesn't know where Eris stands, and that is driving him insane.
I think because Cassian's like so honest in his like relationships.
He has nothing to hide.
Yeah. And so it's like infuriating for him. And just like Eris is teasing.
No, Eris is so annoying.
Yeah. It's interesting to me when people want Nesta and Eris together.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah. Yes. That's a ship.
I am not about that. I think, I don't know, I go back and forth being like, oh, it would be an interesting redemption arc, which it probably would because SJM does a good job at that. But like, even if, I can't remember if we talked about this, but even if he didn't hurt more in the way that we think he did, he's still a bully.
Yeah.
And just kind of a jerk.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a front. I don't know.
Probably. It's always a front.
I know.
It's so silly.
Yeah.
So when Azriel walks in on their whole little situation, Cassian and Nesta were about to have sex for the first time.
Yeah.
But he interrupts that. And Azriel, like Nesta leaves, and then Azriel tells Cassian not to show his hand all at once. And I was kind of like thinking about it. My guess was that Azriel thought that maybe if like they had sex, Nesta would figure out that they were mates, which would maybe freak her out.
Maybe.
Because I think she like kind of knows, but she like isn't facing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who do you think knows that they are mates at this point of the story?
Do we ever find out who knew at any certain time? I know Cassian knows, but I feel like...
I think Rhys knows.
I think just Rhys and Cassian. Well, if Rhys knows, Farrah knows.
Yeah, Farrah knows. I think Amber knows.
Probably.
I don't know if Moore knows. I feel like she's probably in denial.
Yeah. I don't know if other people can sense those things. Like, especially... Or not like sense it in like a smelling or anything. Which, by the way, I loved... what your husband said in the last episode, love at first sniff. That cracked me up. But I wonder if they have grown up in this culture for so long that they know the signs and they can like see it. So
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. That's why I think like a lot of them know. But like I don't think Elaine would know.
No.
Or like again, like Moore, I think she would be like in denial.
I actually don't even think Farrah, well, maybe Farrah would like question it, but I don't know because she hasn't seen it very often.
I think Feyre knows.
Yeah, I guess. Because even in ACOSF, she would kind of say, like, Cassian couldn't take his eyes off of Nesta, or his body seemed to, like, move towards her.
She has, like, a feeling, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cassian and Nesta do not talk about their entanglement from the night before. And Nesta has Cassian bring Emery some tea and spices to tempt her to come to training, but she still refuses. And Cassian mentions that Nesta is different with Emery and Gwyn than she is with the inner court, and is actually like kind and thoughtful towards them. Why do you think this is?
I was actually thinking more about this. I think Nesta's shame and pride gets in the way.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's easy to like get in the same cycle with people, you know, like the same.
It's like that idea of needing a fresh start, kind of.
Yeah, which I think she really needed. I think she needed someone who, I mean, she references her being like, well, if they knew who I was and what I was, they wouldn't be friends with me. So yeah. I think it's nice for her to get a fresh start, but she's also so shameful and prideful. Cassian to himself wonders if it's because she can just like be Nesta with him and not like Feyre's sister or like Cauldron Maid or like Elaine's guardian, and like all of those titles that she like either clings onto or are placed upon her. Just Gwen and Emery don't seem that they care. Yeah, that she has like a different background than them or anything.
Yeah, and I feel like Nesta is realizing it, but I don't think she knew it previously, that she like kind of needed to make her own path. And a lot of her life, just like Elaine and Feyre, a lot of their life has been chosen for them. And then Nesta goes to train the next day and Emery joins.
Yay,
the tea worked.
So then Emery, Gwen, and Nesta start to bond during their training.
And Cassian asks a little about Emery's wings because they are clipped and this is illegal. And so we find out that her dad clipped them himself during Amarantha's reign. And so she kind of like was one that got slid under the radar, whatever it's called.
Can I just say that I read someone like, I don't know if it was like a TikTok comment or something. They literally thought she had like stumps. They like didn't realize that like it,
like clipping the feathers, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They thought she was like clump, like little stumps.
Stumpy Gumpy. Throwback. Oh my gosh. That's funny and really sad. But anyway, she fought her dad, which made the job harder and made it more botched. And Cassian says that he deserves to die for what he did to her wings. And Emery says he deserved to die for far more than what he did to my wings. And I don't even know if I want to think about what she means by that.
I don't either.
But clearly everyone here has been through like major big T trauma.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just thinking of like Nesta could relate to that because she had her body thrown in a cauldron without her permission. Like that feeling of like you're not in control of like your own body.
I know.
Yeah. Scary.
Yeah. And we also find out that all three of them love to read, and the interaction between them where they realized this about each other was just so real. And it made me think of any time I meet anybody else who likes to read, especially if they like the same book. So they're like, oh, I'll bring you this one. You have to read this. I love this. And I love that Gwen's like, what's smut? And they're like, we got you, girl.
They're like, start with this book.
Yeah, this is the beginning.
The intro.
Yeah.
Rhys then goes to pick up Emery, and Emery agrees to return to train the next day. Yeah. When Rhys gets there, Cassian like puts his arm around Nesta, and once Nesta like sees that Rhys doesn't like it, she like leans in to Cassian, and I was like, she's so fucking petty.
Oh my gosh,
she's so petty.
I know.
I love it. I kind of do.
I don't really care.
I love when people are petty about things that are like silly. Don't be petty
about like real things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just like being like, yeah, I know you don't like me with him, so
yeah,
why not?
And Rhys, like you said, he knows. He probably knows their mates. So it's like, you better get used to this, buddy.
It's like, what are you gonna do about him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. At one point, Rhys. Okay, this was interesting. At one point, Rhys enters Nesta's mind and tells her to treat Gwyn well. Why do you think he did this? I feel like this was him being petty back.
hate that Reese did this.
Me too. I was like, what? It didn't feel like a little bit like, okay, well, I'm just going to show you that, like, I need to one-up you almost in this way of, like, you leaned into Cassian. I don't know. I didn't like it either.
I didn't like it either. And, like, I get it. Nesta's been really, really awful on me.
Yeah.
I get it. But, like, Gwen is, like, he's never seen her interact with Gwen. Like,
and why Gwen? Like, why just her?
True. I think because he knows her history.
That's true.
But, yeah, even then it's like, okay, Gwen is obvious. Like, think about it, Reese. Like, Gwen is there. If Nesta was being mean to her, it just feels so, I'm like at loss for words.
They're having this like top dog moment here.
Yes. And I'm just like, Reese, get out of here. She's trying to make a friend. And here you are being like, oh, let me tell you what to do.
I know.
Get
if
out of here.
anything, you could be like, you better treat Cassian well.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been okay. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I see you leaning into him. That's my brother.
Yeah.
Don't mess with him or I'm going to mess with you. Obviously, like, what's he going to do?
I
But
don't blame Nesta for being rude
No.
to him back. I'd be like, don't tell me we're friends.
you don't even know our relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was annoying to me.
It was super annoying. Nesta's having like this inner dialogue, and she mentions that how she thinks that Reese is a fair and just leader. It's just like his personality that she finds so irritating because she thinks he could be like so smug, which he can.
One of his personality traits is how arrogant he is. It just
Yeah.
is. Like,
Yeah.
love it or hate it, it is what it is.
And I really appreciate that she isn't like completely blind to like Reese's
Yes.
goodness, even though it seems that like he can't see her goodness in her right now, but she can like see it in him. I don't know. I'm like, yeah, you don't like him, but you don't have to like think he's horrible at everything he does.
Yeah. Reese also hasn't done anything wrong to Nesta. Like big wrongs. Whereas Nesta has done a lot of wrongs to like him and Farrah. So I think, you know, this makes sense to me that Nesta is like, I just don't like his personality. It's not that I don't like him or I don't like he's done anything to hurt her in any way, you know?
Yeah. I get it. And I get it too. I don't think Nesta's been horrible. I get it.
Right.
I get why he's being mean. I just like that.
Well, it's still not an excuse to be mean. Like,
No.
Like I tell my 2-year-old, you can be mad, you can't be mean. Okay?
They all need that lesson.
I will sit them down like I do the toddlers in my preschool and the toddler at my home. They're
Watch your
acting like
tone.
toddlers.
Don't talk to me like that.
Yeah. Cassian and Reese speak mind to mind then, where Cassian calls him out for, you know, doing the Nesta mind speak thing. And I love to see convo like this where like they hold each other accountable, even though Reese is technically like above Cassian in terms of rank. I don't know, law.
Yeah.
But Cassian's like, stop. And Reese even apologizes. It's like,
Good job, everyone. Nice job.
you did it.
We love to see it.
In the next chapter, the inner court argues about pushing Nesta to scry to find the dread trove, and they argue about whether they should use Elaine instead.
Elaine just like excused herself from the meeting, claiming that she had an elderly fairy's garden to attend to in the morning. But Cassian notices that it looks like she's lying. Where did she go?
Okay.
Why did she lie?
Here's my question. I can't remember. No, Azriel was there. Okay. Because I was going to say, was Azriel not there? Are they having a secret little
Meeting?
Little moment? I don't know.
I wonder if this is like hinting towards like Elaine is almost has like her own mission, even if it's like no one else knows, or maybe some people know. Like, what's going on?
Do you think it's a good mission, or is she being manipulated to be doing bad things?
I hope it's good.
Me too.
I think it's good.
Azriel says Elaine shouldn't be exposed to the darkness of the trove, and Cassian snaps at him saying, why shouldn't she, but Nesta should? And I was like, yes, okay. And then Amren tells them not to underestimate Elaine. And I loved both things. I loved that both Cassian and Amren called out the Elaine coddling, because it's been happening for, how many books have we read? 5 books now, and it's annoying.
It is annoying. And it's like, okay, she's not 5.
No.
She's an adult. Like,
yeah.
I don't get it. Yeah. I'm really glad that happened too. And I'm hoping it's a hint that Elaine will do more.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And Cassian makes it very clear that he feels like everyone is really pushing Nesta. Do you think they're pushing Nesta too much, or do you think the severity of the situation warrants the pushing?
I mean, I get they're pushing. I just like she's like literally in recovery for alcoholism. So it's like
I know.
Like I get it. Like I get they're like in the middle of a war, but also
they're also not in the middle of a war. They're trying to
True.
prevent something.
Yeah.
But like you said, like she just started recovery.
Yeah. And if Elaine chooses to scry, she should have like that should be an option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just bugged me again. Okay, so Meryl, who is the priestess, who's the priestess that Gwen serves, realizes that Nesta helped switch the book from whatever chapter ago for Gwen and confronts them, but Nesta stands up for them. And we also learn that Gwen is a quarter nymph and had a twin sister. And Meryl, in this moment, she seems to have some sort of wind power and says she is descended from, quote, Rabith? We're going to say Rabith. Rabith, the lord of the western wind, but also makes comments that make it seem like she is someone to be feared. And she also uses the word girl to refer to everyone, just like Amren, and says the wind whispers things to her, even under so much stone, which is something the bone carver said. And what his brother Koshi uses to communicate with others. They say that he sends whispers to Braylon on the wind. This just doesn't feel like some random thing.
Okay, I'm really glad that you like laid that out for me because that's a lot of connections.
Yeah, and I tried to look up like the name Rabith and there's nothing.
Yeah.
But I'm like, there's no way. SJM just isn't like that.
No. I'm wondering, okay, is she like a spy?
I don't know. Is she being manipulated? Is she also being manipulated by Koshi? Is she one of his other like bird girls? I don't know. I don't remember what he called them.
They're like enslaved to him.
But like, could she be that?
Yeah. I could also see her being like having her own agenda, but like working with them.
Yeah. Lord of the Western Wind too. Like, what does that even mean? Who is that? Is that Koshi? I don't know.
Oh.
But she says Rabith, Lord of the Western Wind.
I don't know. That's very strange.
Just feel like there is something more.
Yeah, I think so too.
We'll see. Time will tell.
Gwen and her twin when she's like telling Nesta where she kind of came from.
Yeah.
Gwen and her twin are a product of the Great Rite.
Yes.
AKA Callan Mai.
Yes.
How do we say this again?
Callan Mai, whatever. Either one.
And that the magic chose the male, so her mother does not know who the male was. Could she be related to Tamlin?
Okay, I was thinking that too. And then I was like, Tamlin be her dad?
Yeah, or like his half-sister.
Right, but then it made it sound like, to me, because I read this a couple times because I was like, hold up, wait a minute. Put a little love in it. Do you remember that song? Never mind.
No.
Total ADHD moment. It made it sound like that it was one of the like orgy moments, kind of.
Yeah.
After whoever the High Lord is does their shindig.
I guess what like I didn't realize that during the little orgy that like magic would choose like the male, like other males.
Me neither.
I thought it was just like the High Lord male would go magic crazy.
And I thought the magic only chose the female for the High Lord.
But who knows?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Maybe we'll find out more, but I'm not sure.
Maybe she'll be the High Lady.
Tamlin will go kaputs and
she'll take him out with her Illyrian training.
Yeah. Sorry, Tam Tam. Bye. 3 new priestesses come to training the next day, which is exciting, after seeing Nesta stand up to Meryl. So that's what encouraged them. And then Nesta is inspired to scry, but she gets too scared and ends up having a terrible nightmare about the cauldron finding her. And when I was reading this, I was like, oh, the cauldron is there. Like, it took me a minute to realize it was a dream.
Me too. Me too. Yeah. Her dream is very vivid and scary. Before she starts crying, she thinks about how she's like failed everyone, including Feyre and Elaine, for years.
Both sisters, wow.
I wish she would just tell them this.
I know.
I wish she would just say it. Because once she said it, they would just be like, no. I mean, like, yeah, you didn't stand up, but like we were just in a shitty situation.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Can we start over?
We could just heal a little bit and bond.
I know.
So annoying.
I don't think we're ever going to get that. If I'm being honest. I don't think Nesta will ever like apologize. Does she? She doesn't apologize in this book to Farrah.
No.
Does she? I don't think so.
I don't think so. She saved her life.
Yeah. I guess actions speak louder than words, whatever. When Nesta has her nightmare, she erupts in silver fire, so cold that it could burn, and Rhys goes into her mind to help calm her down, and he actually feels her trauma from being in the cauldron. What do you think about his reaction to her trauma? Do you remember his reaction? Because now I'm forgetting already.
I think he's like...
I feel like he was very taken aback.
He was very scared.
Oh, I kind of get it now, in a sense. And he realizes that her power is pure death, and he seems terrified of that as well.
Which is interesting, because Cassian has kind of figured it out. Mm-hmm. But he's just like, I've walked beside death all my life.
I know.
This is my queen. And I'm like,
literally.
I love you so
yes.
much.
I feel like Rhys has known, and because Amber I think has said it before, but like feeling it made it different.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to be used as like, here's Rhys, this like most powerful guy around, and if he's really scared of it, like we should be really scared of it.
Yeah. I like that I mean, obviously it's unfortunate that he had to go into her mind without like her consent and kind of feel that, but I feel like hopefully that will help him. I can't even remember if it does, like be a little more empathetic.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
So Nesta wakes up and finds Cassian sleeping in a chair in her room and tells her friends about her dreams the next day. When she saw Cassian, she wanted to cry because she felt so loved.
That's so sweet.
I love this so much. It was just so sweet.
I don't think she's ever felt love.
Me either.
Like this, at least in her adulthood. Because even from Elaine, I don't know. It's always been very much like...
There's been so much stuff there. And I feel like for her, it's been like almost transactional.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Nesta says that after she tells Emery and Gwen about her dreams, her head feels clearer. And I really liked this because, one, like the girls had the courage to ask her, you know, what's going on? Are you okay? Rather than just shoving things under the rug. And two, like Nesta is really starting to recognize the power of letting people in. And even if it's just a little bit, like that can be really healing. So I just like this moment.
Good job, friends.
Yay. Friendship. We love it.
We learn that the baby has wings that Farrah is pregnant with. And because Farrah was in her Illyrian form when she was impregnated.
Exactly. Yes. Pergananant. Have you seen that video?
I think so. When they're like trying to like...
Pergante. Pregnant.
So, the Bat Boys then start to make plans for when the world finds out about Farrah's pregnancy. Okay, Rhys apparently was not born with wings and only conjures wings through his magic.
Okay.
SJM needs to get her story straight. This is dumb to me.
What do you mean?
It's dumb to me that Rhys was born without wings and then he can just like conjure them up.
It did feel
he doesn't shapeshift. How does that happen?
I don't know. His magic is different.
Exactly. It's stupid. It's a little bit like convenient. I'm like, she didn't think about that. That's okay. I get it. But
it's hard to think about everything.
Yeah,
but this does very feel like an issue that is only happening so Nesta can save Farrah.
I have a better story.
But like, what could we have done something different maybe?
How come
that makes more sense? Right?
To me, I was thinking about this because I had this critique. I was like, okay, what would I do? Me as a great author
coming soon to a bookshop near you
with my 0 books. Okay, this will be my storyline. I probably would have just had like Nesta. She works in a library. I feel like I would like have her go through a journey of trying to find answers and then like working with Farrah so that way that like they heal
and that's healing for them.
They're able to like.
It's not dramatic enough.
It's not dramatic enough. I know, but maybe it could be like in the last second that she finds something.
Well, and also this book is really about Nesta and Cassian. We don't need this major drama moment about Farrah and Reese. Although,
No,
like,
we
I
don't.
like her pregnancy being another plot point and there being, like, something about that plays in. Because I like to imagine that Nyx ends up, like, helping heal Farrah and Nesta's relationship.
Like, who the hell is Nyx?
I almost said, I don't know what I almost said.
You're right.
Like, what's
Nyx.
the baby's name? Nyx. Because I feel like a nephew and a niece, like, they have that it's a little baby. Like, they just have a healing ability and they're just pure and lovely. And I like to imagine that. So I feel like that could be the why, but I don't know why it had to go this way. And it's also like, really? There's nothing they can do? Nothing?
They can revive Farrah back to life after being dead.
But they can't widen her pelvis a smidge?
Oh, I thought of an idea.
Oh, what's your idea?
Farrah can shapeshift. Why doesn't she shift her pelvis very slowly?
Over time.
And then they can monitor the baby, make sure everything's okay. But like she can like literally just think, okay, a little bit.
Like a centimeter today, a centimeter tomorrow.
Yeah.
Half a centimeter. I mean, eventually it'll get wide enough.
It kind of like a cervix. Like,
yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
Anyway, we don't love that.
No, I don't love that. And speaking of that, Maja, the like healer, their like favorite healer, she needs her healing license taken away. Literally. She did not tell Farrah the risks. That is wrong. She did not tell her the real risks.
No. I agree. I wasn't about to argue with you.
I was going to fight you.
No. I was about to ask a question. Okay, so by the time is it that they learned that the baby had wings and then they're like, oop, too far in the pregnancy to shapeshift? Or did they not realize the risk until it was too far to shapeshift?
I think it was the first one.
Also, like, why didn't anybody advise Reese about this potential issue during his sex education?
True. Prithia needs better sex education.
Come on, therapists and sex ed. Let's get it together, people. Reese says that when Farrah shapeshifts, she is literally altering her body chemistry, and that's why the baby has wings. All I can think about is the fact that Farrah could literally become anything. She could become like a ladybug and get pregnant with baby ladybugs.
She really could.
But like then when she would transform into her human form, if she mated with another ladybug, does she now have baby ladybugs inside her?
That really grosses me.
I know. So disturbing, but I just wanted to share with the world where my brain goes.
You know what I thought of is like those spiders that like will like all the babies like if on their back. You know what I'm talking about? I think they're wolf spiders.
Oh, and all the eggs are on their back?
That like really grosses me out.
Ew.
I have trypophobia. Do you know this about me?
No, what's trypophobia?
Like the holes.
Like pores?
Oh, God.
Pores in our body?
No, it's like when you see something. Mine is specifically, especially if it's on someone, but like it could even be, it could be like growths, but if it's like too many holes lined up,
like
when it grosses me out.
Like if someone gets a wart removed, you know how it almost looks like a bullet
lot.
Hole? Interesting. When are you seeing a lot of people with holes?
They look at pictures.
No.
Okay.
I will create a fear.
It's a fear. I showed my mom because she was talking about it, and I was like, "Oh, I like kind of have it." But like I can like some people get really grossed out with like honeycomb because like all the holes like that doesn't gross me out.
It's like skin, like flesh.
To me, it's like on the flesh, and I was like, "Here, I like," because she was like, "I don't really get it," and I like Googled it, and I literally the first thing I saw was like a hand.
No,
I threw my phone at her. I was like, "Get that off my phone!" I was like, I
can't do this myself.
No, I was like, I cannot look at it for another second.
Oh my gosh.
Giving me the creeps.
Wow. Trypophobia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trypophobia?
I
don't know.
Whatever. Learn something new about you. Fear of bodily holes that are not natural.
And a lot. For me, it's like a lot.
Mass amounts of unnatural bodily holes.
Don't like it.
Not a fan.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Cassian then explains to Nesta that the baby having wings could mean that Farrah could die. Not that she could die. I don't know why they're making like maybe she's gonna die. But they're like saying it like maybe not.
There's like a chance. Well, guess what? There's a chance that anybody can die in pregnancy.
True. And Nesta then agrees to try scrying again, which is successful, but it affects her differently than last time, and it takes Cassian's kiss to pull her out of the trance.
True love's kiss.
Okay. The Illyrian men.
Yeah.
Cassian mentions, like, oh, yeah, they'll just go and, like, go around and, like, impregnate high fae, not caring that, like, the high fae will die from childbirth.
Yes.
Because their babies will have wings. Disgusting.
Okay. My first thought is, like, ew, they're like animals, right?
Yeah.
And then I think about how Eris and a lot of people are essentially, like, racist towards Cassian. And even Rhys, because he's half Illyrian. Which there's no excuse for that. And then we see this, and it's like, okay, well, come on, not everyone's like that. But you see their species as a whole is, like, really not that great.
They have a lot of interesting choices.
Yeah, really unkind.
Harsh.
Unkind is putting it kind of nicely, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not good.
No, so, yeah. But be nicer to Cassian, please.
Yeah.
He's not that way.
No. Cassian says that their options are either let Feyre and possibly the baby die while giving birth, or shapeshifting, and maybe it works. Maybe you die. What? I would try the shapeshifting. I'm gonna die either way.
I thought it wasn't that Feyre would die; it was that the baby would die.
I think it's a possibility for either. Maybe the baby's more at risk.
Yeah,
but I'm like, if we're both gonna if we're gonna die,
we gotta try something.
I have to try something. This was where I said maybe she could slowly shapeshift.
I know.
This is dumb. I really don't like the storyline.
I know. I don't either.
No, I don't think anyone does.
No, I don't think so either.
No.
If you do, let us know. We won't hate on you. We're just curious.
Yeah, I want to know why you like it.
Mm-hmm. I don't mind, like, a pregnancy complication and Nesta needing to save them, but, like, why does it have to be this? Because it doesn't seem logical.
And in this book, I'm like, this is, like, weird.
It also could have literally been, in the moment, Feyre giving birth and something going wrong. Because anything can go wrong. It could just be like, she's losing a lot of blood. Oh, no, she's going to die. And then Nesta saves her.
I agree. That's way better. I would rather read
Happens
that.
all the time.
All the time.
In movies and real life too. But
only in movies?
Only in movies. Only in Bridgerton season 1. The Duke's mother. R.I.P. Nesta's reaction to possibly losing Feyre and the baby is one of the few moments where I feel like it's evident that Nesta loves Feyre.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any love for her basically until this moment when she's like motivated to scry because she wants to help her sister.
I feel like, how could you do that? Like, she would absolutely be horrible if she didn't try to help her.
I know. Board. She's like, I need to make a better
nephew.
I need to make sure that my nephew isn't born to a world of war.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be healing there.
I hope so.
With Nyx. I really do.
I really hope so. I love when Cassian starts, like, kissing her to, like, pull her out of, like, the trance.
Yeah.
They're just, like, making out in front of everyone for, like,
I know.
A little bit.
Well, it sounds like for a little, they're just, like, together. And then a tongue gets inserted. Yep. Exactly.
Cold, and then he feels
but they're
like
just
the
like
cold.
frozen. Like, can you imagine kissing somebody and just being like?
Well, he mentions that there's like frost like on her tongue and in her mouth. Could you imagine that?
Oh, no, I don't like cold things. Like,
Neither.
I don't. No,
Neither.
I mean I do like cold things, but
I don't want
to be touching super cold. No.
No Twilight vampires for you.
No, and no Jon Snow sex in the snow in Game of Thrones.
Oh.
None of that.
Sex in the Snow does not sound nice. Sex in the Snow sounds like, it reminds me of like Snow on the Beach.
Snow on the beach?
Snow on the beach.
Who sings that?
Weird but fucking beautiful. Taylor Swift.
Okay, sorry.
With Lana Del Rey?
I have not heard that.
It's on Midnights.
Then I probably heard it and it has not come into my brain. Like I haven't heard it enough.
Snow at the beach. Weird but fucking beautiful.
Where has it snowed at the beach? Oh, probably a lot of places, actually.
Yeah. But, like, not here.
No. I'm like, what? California beach has snow on it? That means it's never snowed anywhere on the beach in the world because it's not in California. Okay. Cassian, Azriel, and Nesta head to the bog.
Yes.
Bog.
No, bog.
Bog of Urid. Urid, which is in the middle. The bog of Urid, which is in the middle.
I like I just gave it an accent.
That's it. It must be forevermore. We can't mess it up. Which is in the middle, which is like that untouched territory that nobody has domain over. To find the mask, when Nesta senses another presence and they realize Azriel has disappeared.
The creatures that live in the bog are said to use it to travel under the mountain and go through waterways across the court. So they like travel underground through like tunnels.
Okay.
And remind me of Crescent City 3.
What happens in the tunnels? What did I block out?
Spoiler Warner.
I remember. Warner. Warner Bros. Spoiler Warner Bros. Okay, wait. Are you talking about Therian?
No, but when Bryce goes to Prithian.
She's in a tunnel?
She goes underground. Remember? She fights... Okay, this
I
is
remember
like
where she's
warning.
found.
And then they... Okay, this is spoiler warning.
Oh, in...
Remember?
Like in Under the Mountain.
Under the mountain.
Yes.
Well, it's not under the mountain, but it's like under the mountain.
Or in the Court of Nightmares.
Yes.
Yes, now I remember. Okay. Sorry, I was picturing her still in Crescent City.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't remember. Okay.
Sorry.
Anyway, before they leave for the bog, yes, Nesta makes a comment that Elaine has chosen to avoid her, and that's fine because Elaine can make her own choices. Really?
Yes.
For the first time ever? It seems like this is the first time Nesta is allowing Elaine to make her own choices.
She also calls Elaine loyal like a dog. Don't say that, Nesta.
Oh, honey.
Don't compare your sister to a dog in a way that's like mean like that. Like she's like almost saying like Elaine's so stupid that like she's just loyal like a dog. Which, first of all, dogs are not, well, some dogs are silly and not.
Silly. I like that you said silly instead of stupid.
Some dogs are just a little bit stupid, but like, don't say that about your sister.
I know. It just is all around.
I didn't like this.
Not loving.
No.
Not loving it. We learned a little bit about the history of the bog, and it used to be a sacred place for warrior water burials. That's a tongue twister. But has now become a place of the darkest evil. There is no wind, no animals, and the air is described as oppressive to muffle any scream. Terrifying. We also learned that there are legends of kelpies roaming the water, which are in another SJM book, Crescent City 1.
I really don't like kelpies at all.
No, terrifying. And we don't actually see them in the first Crescent City book.
No,
She just says that Jezebel used to have one and sold it to somebody. And I'm like, who wants to own one of these? So twisted.
It's super twisted. Also, a weird little theory that is going around. People think Gwen is actually a light singer or part light singer, which is kind of like the opposite of a shadow singer.
Well, wouldn't that be interesting if they ended up together?
I know. Well, here's the thing. Light singers are lovely, ethereal beings who will lure you, appearing as friendly face when you are lost. But they're actually really ugly, and they drown you for fun.
Oh, I forgot. They're bad guys.
They're bad guys. People
like a
think that.
siren.
Yeah.
And she's part water.
I
don't know
water
if they're
nymph.
water creatures, but it wouldn't surprise me because it's very similar to a siren.
Yeah, if they drown people.
Well, just like the calling, you know, like luring. They lure through their song, but
What do you think about that theory?
I wouldn't be mad about it.
It'd be kind of cool.
I'm here for a plot twist.
I do want someone to twist. I'm ready to be gutted.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't want it to be. I feel like any of the Archeron sisters, any of the Bat Boys, like people will say Reese might be evil. That is just that's a little too much for me because we already had Tamlin turn out to be evil. And like, come on, let's not do that to Farrah.
Yeah.
And I just feel like if Farrah were to turn evil too, like that's not like
it's not
her.
consistent.
No. So I feel like a side character like Amryn or Moore or Gwen, any of them I would be fine with.
Me too.
And I would actually be interested in.
And I'm ready for it.
Me too. We need something new.
Yeah. They discovered that Azrael was shot with an ash arrow and is fighting 24 Autumn Court soldiers. Cassian drops Nesta off in a tree and goes to help fight, but Nesta gets nervous that something bad is happening, so she climbs down. Azrael's always getting shot in the wings.
He is.
He needs to like shield those babies. He's always getting shot.
What
in
is
the
going on? Put your shield up, dude.
His poor wings. They're probably all scarred up.
Him and Cassian. Their wings are always getting destroyed.
Yeah. Nesta yells at Cassian to stop flying away from like where Azrael is when they like find out that he's gone down and to go help him. And he says, I know what each second costs me. Oh my God.
Because he's trying to get her to safety.
I love him, but also so sad for Azrael. Could you imagine? I like just met. I'm like, I just met this guy. Morgan, you're getting freaking killed out there, but I need to go, like, hold on.
I need to go make out with him real quick. Well, that's not what they're doing.
I know.
But I know. But here's the thing, though. I have a feeling Azriel would be like, you made the right choice.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
They're such little softies.
I know.
They just want to be in love.
They do. Okay, so Nesta leaves the safety of her tree, right? Mm-hmm. Would you have left the safety of your tree? How much time do you think? I think we find out later it was like 15 minutes.
I would stay there all fucking day.
Me too. I would be
I'm sorry.
Hell no. This is my home now. I will make this into a tree house.
Yeah, I would never get down.
No.
I feel like, and if I did, I would be like, I'm going to like in tune with my power right now and just be in flames.
And run. I would immediately start sprinting. Not standing there being like, where do I go? What do I do?
I'm kind of I'm a freeze.
I feel like you got to make the game plan in the tree before you get down to the ground.
I feel like I would make the game plan. And again, I think I would be like, I'm going to be in my silver flame cast right now. I don't care.
Like a Power Ranger.
Yes.
Power Ranger suit up in your silver flames.
Yeah. I think it was like 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah.
That's not long enough.
No.
I'm like, they're warriors. They got it.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah. Nesta is confronted with the Kelpie when she goes down.
Casually.
Just, you know.
So casual.
She says hi. She's dragged into the surface. Azriel and Cassian return to find her gone.
Terrifying.
So Nesta, when she's like gets down from her tree, she mentions that her mother taught her to swim because her mom saw her cousin die as a child.
Yes.
By being dragged into the river by fairies. This is literally what happens to her.
I know.
Like, it's like a little foreshadow within the whole moment.
I know. Do you think it was a Kelpie? Because Nesta is kind of like, what if it was a Kelpie?
Or a wraith, the river wraiths. Not the wraiths, the river.
I don't think they hurt people, though.
I don't know. I think they hurt people.
The ones that Farah helped in ACOSF?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think that's why people don't like them.
I thought they were just kind of like social outcasts. Because they're greedy and they just like are gluttonous.
Yeah.
Because water nymph. No. Water wraith.
Yeah,
water wraith. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
Gwyn part water nymph or water wraith?
Nymph.
What's the difference?
One of them wears clothes, the other one doesn't. I have no idea.
Oh, that's right. Because
they're naked. The wraiths are naked. Okay, well, she should have stayed in her tree.
I agree.
She knew the story. She should have stayed in the tree.
Come on, girl. Come on. Think a little bit.
If I knew that story, I'm not getting down.
No.
Never.
She said that her nails, she was like, she must have been on the tiniest little branch because she was holding on to the trunk and like it was cutting into her nails.
These would be stumps before you get down.
Stumpy guppy. Oh my gosh. I think this might be the most terrifying monster we've ever seen.
I agree. I think
it's
scary because it's like literally just wants to rape you and kill you. There's no other purpose.
Yeah. It's rough.
Farah has her watery bells.
Yes.
Nesta has her pee. She pees herself.
Yes.
What will Elaine have?
Probably some vomit. That's what I'm thinking. It's the only thing left, right?
Yeah. I'm on Farah's watery bells. I feel like I would get more IBS-y than I do.
Same. However, I have had a child, so, you just pee a little easier.
Yeah.
And honestly, if I saw a Kelpie, it would probably be everything. I would have shit, vomit, and piss. All at once.
Same.
Oh my gosh! Then maybe it would have not wanted me.
You'd be just like covered in disgust.
You're a little too gross for me. I'm going back in the water.
They might like it.
Ew.
They're
okay.
crazy.
No, we're moving on. Absolutely not.
Okay. I love that the mask was in the bog that used to be an ancient burial ground, right? Mm-hmm. The mask that controls dead, beings is there. Like, of course, someone would be using it there.
I know.
It makes sense.
That makes sense. There's so many dead things there.
Yeah. Also, just a little connection. There's a mask in Throne of Glass that is iron that stifles magic. Do you think that these masks are connected?
I don't know. I wonder, we don't really get a ton of Throne of Glass connections in these books, do we?
Not as there is, but not, I feel like not as connected as Crescent City.
Yeah, not this came from here or this is truly connected to this person. Yeah, that would be interesting to hear about. Is this mask made of iron? Do you remember?
No, I think it's gold.
Oh, okay.
I think it's
makes you wonder,
maybe
like,
not. I just picture it gold. Maybe that's not true.
I think I picture gold too.
I think I've seen fan art of it gold. I'm pretty sure it's gold because it has like whorls and stuff.
Yeah. Makes me think of Tamlin's Maas.
It does make me think of Tamlin's Maas.
So we find out that Cassian and Azriel kill the Autumn Court soldiers except for 2, and these 2 soldiers are described as not talking to any of their companions and being blank/unfocused. And I remember reading this for the first time and totally like not even caring how these soldiers play into the plot, because I'm like, the Kelpie, and it was literally the same time around. I was like, and let's move on. I don't care about these stupid soldiers.
Yeah.
And I know they're important later, but even still, I was like, I forget that that's a plot.
I agree. I think like going back and rereading it helps me. I'm like, oh, this is the important part, but I was just too much caring about Nesta and Cassian.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly.
Same. So the Kelpie drags Nesta under the water, and as she tries to summon her power, she summons the mask instead, puts it on her face, summons the dead to kill the Kelpie. She returns to the surface triumphant.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. It was great. And earlier in the book, Cassian and Azriel say, so they're talking to Nesta about the Bogge, literally every time. And they're talking about the creatures that are there, and they talk about the Kelpie. And they say that creatures here would not be put in the prison because hunting and killing are a part of their nature. It's how they were made. So, like, the world can't fault them for that. But the way, like, the Kelpie is literally trying to rape her. It's touching her and, like, playing with her. And it's not just, like, a wolf hunting to survive or feed its pups. This is a rapist monster who then eats you.
Yeah. There's, like, no, like... Yeah.
No, there's no excuse here.
It, like...
It's very evil.
It's not good. I'm glad she killed maybe the presumed last one.
I know. No, there's one in Crescent City.
Well,
probably.
Yeah. Okay, Azriel, when Nesta is like coming up with all like the dead, she has her mask on
and the hair. She's gripping the head by the hair.
Oh, she loves to do that. She loves to grab the head.
Oh yeah,
she does. Okay. Azriel and Cassian bow to Nesta when she was like death, because she was like
death incarnate.
And Cassian says that this is just what Illyrians have always done. They always bow to death.
What's that even mean?
I think that they mean they like respect death. Death is something to be honored and revered. And
Got it. Yeah.
Do you think she would have killed them if they didn't bow to her?
That is a good possibility.
I don't know. Like, I mean, it wouldn't be her. That's the thing. It's like, it's death. Do you think death would have killed them? I'm like, I feel like death could be petty like that.
Absolutely. Like, you didn't submit to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question. Good point.
Let's do some connecting the cosmos.
Yes.
When Azriel winnows Nesta to the Bogge.
Yes.
And so she's like clinging on to him because she says she felt like if she didn't, she would tumble through the space between places and get lost there. Which I love that little connection, because we do see in Throne of Glass, one of the characters literally does tumble through space, and so does someone in Crescent City.
Yes.
Could Azriel potentially travel between worlds if he has this power?
I got the chills. I feel like he could. I don't know. I feel like there is so much more to him than we even understand.
If he tried that, because we know that he has the knife and it's connected to the sword. Like, I wonder if he like tried like calls to like if he would be swept up into Crescent City world.
And it feels like Azriel isn't even of this world a little bit.
You're right.
Like, I don't know. Yes. I like that. Interesting. Okay, quick little would you rather. I feel like I already know the answer. Would you rather fight a Kelpie or a Midgardian worm?
The worm.
100%. I'm
taking that worm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You talked about this on your last episode, too.
Yeah, ride him, like, on the... No, Morgan! Like in Dune.
Oh, wait. The second one or the first one?
The second one.
No, I haven't seen the second one yet.
You know they ride the worms. The sand worms.
The first one was so boring. I don't remember anything.
I liked it. Rewatch it with captions and at home.
That's what I did.
Oh. You just didn't like it. I liked it.
Here's the thing. I thought it got good right at the end, and then it ended. So I think if I watch the first one and then immediately watch the second one, I will like it. You know what I mean?
We watched the first one and then went to the movie theaters and watched the second.
Yeah.
It was good.
I can tell that it's going to be a good story. I was just like, come on.
Well, they write the sandworms, and that's how I want to write the Mythorium.
It'll be your new pet.
Yeah. All slimy.
Ew,
I feel like I kind of like it. Okay.
Just a slimy little worm.
I feel like it'd be squishy to like.
And then you like get off and you just have slime dripping from your pants. You're like, sorry, I rode my worm here.
Be fast. Get there before anyone.
Yeah. Congratulations, but you have slime butt. Okay, anyway. Next episode is, we'll be covering chapters 37 through 45. Follow us on TikTok before it goes away, potentially.
Don't say that.
I know.
It's if you don't follow us there.
Follow us on Instagram for sure.
Which I'm so bad at posting on there.
I know, me too, but we got to get better. At It's Fate Pod. And then TikTok is at It's Fate Podcast. And then find us on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.